Imagine this. I slide 10 crisp $100 bills across the table and say, one bite of this jelly meat, and it's all yours. Tempted? What if I told you there's $10,000 on the line if you can take on the most bizarre, bold, and bonkers bites from around the world? Yep, $1,000 per bite, plus a $2,000 bonus if you survive them all. 10 grand just to eat stuff you'll probably never find on DoorDash. Would you have the stomach to become $10,000 richer? Then buckle up, brave belly, because this ride's about to get deliciously strange, featuring the world's weirdest delicacies that make Fear Factor look like a kid's menu. Let's kick off in Russia with its meat jello madness, kolodets. Imagine chunks of pork, beef, or chicken suspended in a wibbly-wobbly, translucent prison of gelatin that jiggles like your aunt's dance moves at weddings. Made from pig trotters, beef or chicken, garlic, onions, and boiled into a broth that solidifies like jello that's been dared to be meaty. Russians have been making this since the 14th century, originally as a way to preserve meat during brutal winters. The dish literally translates to cold thing, which is exactly what you'll feel down your spine when you see it wiggle. Russian oligarch Roman Abramovich reportedly serves gold-flecked kolodets at his yacht parties, because apparently regular jellied meat isn't fancy enough when you're worth $13 billion. One Russian grandmother in Siberia set a record when she made a 50-pound kolodets for her grandson's wedding. It fed 200 people and took 3 days to set properly. Bite price? $1,000, but emotionally priceless. Welcome to Qatar, where they don't just go big, they go prehistoric. This isn't just stuffed baby camel, it's a culinary Russian doll nightmare. Picture this: rice-stuffed fish inside chickens, stuffed inside a sheep, all crammed inside a baby camel. It's like Inception, but with more hooves. This isn't just food, it's a whole event. It's the turducken of the desert, but with way more camel. This dish holds the Guinness World Record as the largest item on any menu, weighing up to 550 pounds. Traditionally served at Bedouin weddings, royalty-level banquets, or ultra-luxe weddings, it takes an entire day to cook and requires a custom-built oven. Gordon Ramsay once called it absolutely mental after trying it in Doha, but admitted the flavor was surprisingly tender and aromatic. Here's the kicker. Only about 12 of these monsters are made per year worldwide, making it rarer than a unicorn with good table manners. And rumor has it that Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani once requested it, especially during a royal feast. Down in Sierra Leone, pepper soup gets wild, literally, with monkey meat. Sierra Leone's monkey pepper soup. Before you call PETA, let me explain. This West African delicacy isn't what you think. It's called monkey because locals believed it made you as agile and energetic as our primate cousins. Now, before you freak out, just know. This is deeply rooted in survival cooking, using what's available in the forest. The soup traditionally uses bushmeat, now often substituted with goat or beef, in a fiery broth loaded with enough peppers to make a grown man weep. Spicy, aromatic, and believed to be a source of strength and stamina, it's a traditional dish in rural communities. The soup is considered so potent that Sierra Leonean mothers serve it to new fathers, believing it gives them the strength to stay awake during those sleepless newborn nights. Idris Elba, whose father is from Sierra Leone, has publicly declared his love for this soup, calling it liquid fire that burns so good. A restaurant in Freetown once served a version with 47 different types of peppers. Customers had to sign a waiver. Let's talk insects. Brazilian style, Tanajura ants, winged leafcutter ants, collected during their mating flights. These ants, especially the queens, are toasted and mixed with manioc flour to create farofa de tanajura. Crunchy, nutty, and, ready for it, high in protein. These queens are harvested once a year after the rains. It's a seasonal delicacy, and folks line up for it in parts of Bahia. Even Giselle Bündchen was once gifted farofa de tanajura during a fashion shoot. Her reaction? Crunchy and confusing. G'day, mate. We're off to the land down under for kangabangas, Australian kangaroo sausages. Crikey. Incredibly lean, like 98% fat-free, gamey, and surprisingly healthy, these sausages are a BBQ staple in Oz, made from Australia's national symbol, hopping fresh from the outback to your plate. They're so common, you can grab them at the grocery store between your Vegemite and Tim Tams. Weird? Maybe. But Chris Hemsworth is a fan. Thor approved. And guess what? Kangaroo meat's been consumed for over 40,000 years by Indigenous Australians. Respect the roo. Here's a wild fact. Kangaroo meat produces 80% fewer greenhouse gases than beef, making it possibly the most environmentally conscious item on our terror menu. Guatemala serves up what might be the most shocking soup on our list. Snail soup, caldo de jutes. These aren't your garden variety escargot, nor your fancy French escargots. No, no. Jutes are massive freshwater snails from Lake Amatitlan, some growing as large as tennis balls. The soup is a murky, greenish broth filled with these slimy, chewy creatures. The sliminess is part of the charm, or the challenge. This ancient Mayan delicacy has been slurped for over 1,000 years and is believed to have aphrodisiac properties. The preparation is an art form. Snails are purged for days, then slow cooked with herbs and spices until the broth turns an appetite-killing shade of pond water. Locals believe this soup boosts immunity and clears your sinuses faster than your ex's last text. Guatemalan American comedian and actor Oscar Isaac once joked on a talk show that his grandmother's jute soup was like kissing a rubber boot filled with seaweed, but admitted he still craves it during holidays. Straight out of Lake Kivu, we've got Rwanda's Amafi Ikiyaga, which translates to fish of the lake. These small, whole fish, scales, bones, eyes, and all, are dried, then either fried or cooked into stews. They're crunchy, savory, and eaten by the handful, like fish popcorn. Great source of calcium, terrifying to look at. Fun twist? They're served at weddings, and its local tradition insists that choosing the crunchiest sambaza is a mark of luck at weddings, even more prized than the bouquet toss. Our final challenge comes from the smallest country in the world, with perhaps the biggest culinary controversy: Vatican City's pagata. Holy intestine pasta. Yes, the Vatican eats weird too. Pagata is made from the intestines of unweaned calves, meaning they've only consumed a mother's milk, complete with their last meal still inside. The undigested milk creates a creamy, cheese-like sauce when cooked. It's literally eating an animal's digestive system, with its contents intact. The result? The milk curdles inside during cooking and becomes a rich, cheesy sauce, typically served with rigatoni. This dish has been served in Rome for over 400 years and was reportedly a favorite of several popes throughout history. The preparation is so complex that only a handful of restaurants in Rome still serve authentic pagata. Celebrity chef Anthony Bourdain called it the most intense primal eating experience he'd ever had. Once banned for hygiene reasons, but later reinstated due to public outcry. When Italians riot over pasta, the Pope listens. Fun fact, Pope Francis, before becoming pontiff, was known to frequent a small Roman trattoria that served pagata every Thursday, though the Vatican has never officially confirmed his culinary preferences. Final challenge tally 8 dishes. $1,000 per bite equals $8,000. Bonus for doing them all equals $2,000. Total $10,000. That's right. You just earned 10 grand with your stomach, your courage, and a whole lot of bois de terre. So, would you try them all? What would it take for you to bite into jelly meat, ant queens, or a camel stuffed with basically a family reunion? Smash that like, hit subscribe, and drop a comment on which dish you'd totally try or run screaming from. And as Mr. Ambit would say, no matter what you are going through, you still deserve to eat whatever you want, even if it's spicy monkey soup.